Hey guys! It is my 7-year blogoversary. I cannot believe I have been blogging for 7 years. I think I need to get my blog in a wheelchair because it's getting old. It's been crazy, I cannot believe it. But it's been amazing 7 years, and I got to make friends, and I love blogging. I do. So this year I want to actually celebrate and do a question and answer vlog. A bunch of y'all asked me questions, and A+ guys on the questions. Y'all are very good question askers. I only was able to do 2 questions per person because I don't want this video to be like an hour long, and I got a bunch of questions, so if I skip some of yours, I apologize. But let us get to it. I have everybody's questions here, and I am super anxious to answer them, so let's do this thing. Alright, Ivy asked me, what's your favorite book? And LHE also asked me, what's your favorite book or series? So I'm going to cheat and say, what's your favorite book and series, and do 2. Favorite book? Howl's Moving Castle. Is anybody surprised? You're not surprised. You're not surprised. But this book, guys, it's my happy place. I just want to reread it at all times. Hal is my favorite character ever, and I adore Sophie and Calcifer, and I love this book so much. I know I'm so subtle about it. It's like I never mention it in my post or anything, right guys? I'm so subtle about my love for Howl's Moving Castle. I love this book. Favorite series. This probably is not a surprise either. Dragons in Our Midst by Brian Davis. I love these books so much. They are just epic and have amazing characters, and dragons, I mean, you just can't go wrong. I have been in love with these books since I was like 13 or so. Maybe older, I can't remember. But they're a huge part of my teenagehood, and I love them. And I know that's a surprise too. I'm just so subtle about my favorite books. I know. So, those are my favorites. Ivy also asked, who is your favorite movie OTP? That would be Rapunzel and Flynn from Tangled, because I can't get enough of them. They are so adorable. I love how Rapunzel is just innocent and hyper and optimistic, and Flynn is just the cool thief, but golden heart inside, and just, I love Tangled is like my favorite anime movie ever. I adore them so much. So, alright. Florid Sword, aka Faith, asked, what is your favorite class in high school? Well, I homeschooled my whole life, so I didn't exactly have classes. But I'm a writer. I loved grammar and English, and just anything to do with that sort of stuff was great. That doesn't mean I'm very good at grammar. Yeah, I should be, but I'm not the best. But I still love it. I love words. I love learning about words. Also kind of like math. I know. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah. And I also did a bunch of like writing books, like about writing, because I've loved to write since I was 9 years old, so I just kind of focused a lot of that in school. I did these books called Writing Strands. Did anybody do those? They were really fun. There's another one called like Writer's Ink or something. I don't know. I just love the words, love stories. So anything to do with that, definitely. Faith's other question is, if you could travel back in time to meet any one person, who would it be? This was hard, because like there's so many famous people, or like people in the Bible would be awesome, or even like relatives I have that I never got to meet, because they passed away before I was born. But I finally decided on J.R.R. Tolkien. I know, these answers aren't surprises, I'm sure. But Tolkien, can you imagine just like having tea with him and discussing writing and talking about his world and his characters with him, and just hanging out with Tolkien? Like, that's the dream. So yeah, definitely Tolkien, I would think. All right, Hannah V asked me, do you enjoy board games? If so, which one is your favorite? Yes, I love board games. I haven't played one in a long time though, but I love board games. Life was always my favorite. I love pretty much any type of simulation game where you just have a life in the game. So I totally love Life. Can't go wrong with Monopoly either. Yeah, especially like my Lord of the Rings edition Monopoly. And there's another board game called like Payday. Has anybody heard of that one? I went through a phase at one point, like preteen years, where I played that one a lot. It was fun. So yeah, board games are super fun. Hannah's other question is, which story character whom you've created is most like you and how? So this one's really hard too, because I don't have a character that's just like me. Yeah, I'm whiny and weak, and I would probably be a horrible person to go on an adventure with. I would be like the first dead. So yeah, I don't really base any of the characters off of myself, because that would just end badly. But I put myself, or accidentally put myself, in a few of my characters. I think the character I most relate to is Prince Aaron from my Colors of a Dragon Scale series. I know it's weird because he's a guy, but he and I think a lot alike, because he, looking at my notes here because I can't remember what all I was going to say. I have cheat sheets. But Aaron he thinks a lot like me. He likes to joke a lot and can't take anything seriously. And he acts super confident and everything, but deep down is very self-conscious and just kind of the fun, goofy one. And yeah. We just think a lot alike. Like every time I wrote him, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I think. Why is Aaron so much like me? Not exactly like me at all. But he's the one I relate to probably the most out of my characters. It's really funny. I don't know, my characters, I don't have any control of what they become. They just are who they are. Don't have any control. All right, Jameson asked me, when you were little, what was your favorite ever story or stories? This is another hard one. They're all hard, guys, but I didn't really just have a favorite kids book, because I loved so many. Dr. Seuss, cannot go wrong with Dr. Seuss. The Little Critter books, did y'all read those? Those were great. I loved Little Critters. Amelia Bedelia, can't go wrong with that. I just loved reading. Any little book I could get my hands on, I was happy with. I wasn't picky. Yeah, just all of them. I don't think I had just a specific, this is my favorite kids book. I just loved books. Her other question is, if you could switch places with any of your characters for an hour, who would you choose? Wow. So, for 1 hour, like, that would be a crazy hour. I keep saying this about all the questions. These were hard, but like hard questions. It made me think. Y'all did a good job. I think I would probably want to be my character Ethel, which I'm not sure I've talked about much because I wrote this story a while back. It's a time travel trilogy called The Traveling Library. And it's time travel and steampunk, and yes, a moving library, and it's super fun. I really need to go back and rewrite that thing because I missed that story. But Ethel is the main character, and she's like an assistant to the time traveler who, Mortimer is the time traveler, and he's like this old, grumpy, but sort of fun, sort of mentor type guy. And him and Ethel are really funny. And Ethel is very optimistic. She's just fun, scatterbrained, and they meet lots of fun friends and form a cool time traveling squad. And these characters are in my head all the time just because I loved all of them and their crazy adventures. And yeah, I really need to finish that trilogy. And it would be amazing to be ethereal for an hour and time travel and just be with everybody and be in the time traveling library. So yeah, I think if I had to be, it would be hard to just be there for 1 hour though. Have to fit in a lot of stuff for 1 hour. That's probably all I could handle though, because I would probably die in any story within an hour, because that would be a horrible adventure. It's sad. So Liv asked, what's the first story you hope to publish? That would be Burning Thorns. Drowning in edits of Burning Thorns right now, but I'm working on it. Yeah, my Beauty and the Beast retelling. I really hope that would be the first one. Any would be great, but that's the one I'm going to pursue with right now and see where it goes, what kind of feedback I get. So, her other question is, do you prefer indie or traditional publishing? They both have their pros and cons. Like, it's really amazing that we have all these options now. For me personally, I'm gonna try the traditional route. Just, this is crazy, but I don't like being my own boss. I know, that's usually why people want an indie published. I actually like being told what to do and having people lead me and, you know, dealing with all the stuff, all the headaches and stuff. I know it's a lot of work, both of them. But I feel like I would do better traditionally published. So that's the plan right now. We'll see where things go. But just for me personally, I want to try traditionally publishing. But both are great. Her other question kind of went along with this, so I was gonna answer it too. Is there any guess for when you might be published? No. Since I want to go traditionally published, that's a long road. It could be years. I'm working on it. I'm editing Burning Thorns right now, and then I'm going to start querying with it and all this stuff. But it's going to be a long road, so I have no idea. I'm sorry. I wish I had a date. That would be amazing. But for now, we will see where it goes. So, publishing, it's a long road, but it's what I want to do. So we're going to try it. All right, Julian asked, what is your favorite least known character in Lord of the Rings? A character that may only appear in the books or one that non-diehard movie watchers might miss? This was hard because all of Tolkien's characters are amazing in their own way. I really love the main ones. I've always been fascinated by Elrond's sons. I'm gonna botch up their names. Eladan and Elrohir or something like that. I probably just ruined their names. But they're supposedly twins. I don't think he ever said if they're actually twins. But people have theorized that they're twins. And it seems like we don't get to know much about them. But they're like Elrond's sons and Arwen's brothers. And I don't know, there's just something fascinating, mysterious about them. And I was just always been fascinated by them. I think they're pretty cool. Alright, her other question is, when walking in the woods, are you more likely to zone out and think about life and stuff, or pretend you're in a story and act like you're tracking or running for your life or something? I love this question. I'm both. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does this, because yes, when I go walking, I could just disappear in my own mind and think about stories. Or I will pretend that something's happening. I'm on an adventure. Because that's why we write, right? So we can play pretend and call it work when we're adults. Yes, that's why we write. Because you shouldn't have to outgrow playing pretend. But yeah, I definitely do both. Just depends on where my mind goes at the time. Alright, Kendra asked, what is the premise of Burning Thorns? So, I don't have a one-liner for it. I need to do that. If you go to my stories page up there on the blog, there's a full synopsis for Burning Thorns, but I I wrote down a little quick one, so try to explain it. So, when 17-year-old Rose is betrayed and must flee from her own home, she hides in the one place no one will find her, the forest, the land of the Fae. But for 30 years, the Fae world has been darkened by the shadows of a beast they call a dragon. When a quiet masked man rescues Rose from a group of dark Fae and offers her a room in his castle, she can't believe he is this dragon, the one who cursed the Fae kingdom and thrust the world into darkness. In Rose's hope that she has finally found a haven from those who want to harm her, she's blinded to the shadows under the man's mask and the sacrifice that must be paid to end the curse forever. So, I don't know if that explains it. I do just kind of always say it's my Beauty and the Beast retelling and don't explain what it's about. But basically, the Beast is a dragon-ish thing, because dragons, guys, the obsession is strong. But he... I'm so bad at explaining my stories. I need to get better. There's a dark forest with Fae, and yeah, Rose stumbles into it, and the way for the beast curse to end is not exactly how you think it is. And it's kind of dark, but lots of creepy Fae things going on, and just betrayal and just stuff. I don't know. I'm just explaining this really badly. But, yeah. That was a fail explaining. I need to get better. Thank you for bringing this up, Kendra, because I need to learn how to pitch my novel. Obviously. So, anyway, her next question was, what big plans do you have for the next 7 years? That's a good one. Really just the same that I'm doing, pursuing publishing, keeping up with blogging, you know, just seeing where God takes me and keep on writing, basically, is the plan for now. Okay, LHE asked, what's your biggest goal in life? Okay, so the shallow answer is getting published and becoming a full-time author, because that's my dream. But the deeper answer is just following God's plan for my life and using my life to increase His kingdom and just doing wherever God leads me. Doing wherever God leads me. That was a bad sentence. Doing whatever He leads me to do. So, yeah, but my personal goal is to hopefully get published and be a full-time writer, because that would be amazing. Her other question is, do you like avocados? No, I really can't stand avocados, which is funny because I like almost all fruit. That's like one of the very few fruits that I can't stand. I'm sorry if you like avocados. I just, Music Girl asked, who would you rather hang out with, Arwen, Eowyn, or Tariel, and why? Eowyn is my favorite Lord of the Rings character, or Tolkien character. She is absolutely amazing. So probably Eowyn, but Arwen is also an elf, and I probably might get along better with Arwen because Eowyn is more of a warrior type, and I'm not a warrior type. And Arwen's an elf, so just hang out with her and the elves, that would be amazing. So, I don't know. Not Tariel, because she ruined the Hobbit movies, and she shouldn't exist. So we're just gonna pretend Tariel doesn't exist, because she shouldn't. Okay, Music Girl's other question is, if you could bring one Lord of the Rings character to life, who would it be and why? This took a lot of thought. My favorite Lord of the Rings character is Aragorn, so probably him, but maybe Sam. Can you imagine just like hanging out with Sam? We could just talk, have tea, he could tell me about his gardening, and it would be amazing. But Aragorn, you could hang out and he could tell you all about all your adventures, his adventures and stuff, and questions. I don't know. Either Aragorn or Sam. Or all of them. Let's just have a Lord of the Rings party, because I want all of them to come to life. That would be amazing. Okay, Kinsey asked, what is your absolute favorite thing about being a writer? Or alternatively, what's your absolute least favorite thing about being a writer? So, favorite, coming up with characters, writing my characters, anything to do with characters, because I am obsessed and I just love fictional characters, writing them, reading about them, watching them. Just, yes. Creating characters is just, it's probably why I write. I love it. I'm obsessed. Least favorite? All the work. Writing is hard. It's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work. It's not just writing. I mean, you're blogging, you're building your platform, you're writing, you're researching. You have to wear like 1 million different hats, and it never ends. Like, when you have a real job, you clock out and you leave that job and you relax. Writing, there's always something to do, and it gets really overwhelming. But it's worth it. It's just, there's so much to do. Writing is quite a job, but I still love it. So, Kinsey's other question is, if you're a main character of a fantasy novel, which of the following would you choose as your signature weapon? A never-ending supply of cookies, a scythe, or a yo-yo? I love your questions, Kinsey. Well, a scythe is very grim. Grim Reaper. Haha. I don't think I would want to take anybody down with a scythe. That would be gruesome. I'm really bad at yo-yoing because I'd be pretty useless with a yo-yo. Cookies. Never-ending supply of cookies. I could feed the enemy cookies and then bring them to my side. Would that mean I'm on the dark side, though? Because, you know, the dark side has cookies. Yeah, cookies, though. Definitely, if I was the main character. Or I could just put the enemy into a sugar coma, or just make them nice by giving them sugar. I don't see anything wrong here. I can't see how this would go wrong. So Christine asked, and not this Christine, another Christine. I didn't ask myself questions, because that would be weird. Christine Eyre asked, what is the weirdest thing you've had to look up for writing research? So, this is really boring, but I haven't really looked up that much weird stuff. Probably because I don't research nearly as much as I should. But, yeah, I can't really think of anything super weird that I have researched, so boring answer. And our other one was, what is an inspiring image that you can't get out of your mind? So there was this picture that I found of this white-haired elf, and it is what inspired my 7-book Colors of a Dragon Scale series that I worked on for 7 NaNoWriMos. This one picture. It's what inspired my character Brith, and it's just a really beautiful picture of this white-haired elf, and it just opened up the gateway for this entire 7-book series, and I love that. I love how we could get inspiration for something huge just with a tiny thing. So I will link the picture down below so you could see it. This artist is really amazing. It's just a picture I found on DeviantArt, and this artist makes some beautiful stuff. And yeah, I'll show that one to y'all because it's really cool picture. All right, Lila, I hope I'm saying your name right, Lila Kins. What is your least favorite book and why? I don't know if I have a least favorite book. There's this one called The Beguilers by Kate Thompson. I did not enjoy this book. I think it won an award or something. It was so boring. Nothing happened. And it was weird. Like, I didn't really get what was happening. And pretty much the whole book is the character going up a mountain and then going down a mountain with, like, no other characters or anything. It was probably the most boring book I've ever read in my life. So, yeah. I mean, a lot of people like it, but I could not get into it. It was just, it put me to sleep. Thankfully it was short, so I didn't have to stick with it too long. And I can't not finish a book once I start it, pretty much. So even though I was not enjoying it, I had to finish it because I'm funny that way. Her other question was, what's your favorite time of day? Morning, afternoon, evening, or night? Definitely evenings and nights. Not a huge morning person. Afternoons is usually when I'm really busy doing stuff, being productive or trying to be. But evenings, I've usually been productive and could just relax and read or watch TV or whatever. Next question is from True Shaw. What's your favorite blogging memory or experience? Oh wow, there's so many great things about blogging. I love it when I get like a really good response to like a post I worked really hard on, like my why I believe Cinderella is a good heroine post. I got a really good response to that, and that was just meant a lot to me. But I don't know if I have a specific memory, but just experienced making friends. I've made so many amazing friends through blogging, and it's been a huge blessing to me. And so I'd definitely say just meeting people is amazing. Her other question is, what's your favorite candy and flour? Candy, so many. Starburst, Sweet Tarts are great. Jolly Ranchers, I don't know, candy's great. I do love Starburst, so this might be my favorite. And flower, roses. I love roses. So, Jane asked, what is your favorite book cover? Jane, you gotta ask these questions. It's my fault. I told y'all to ask me favorite questions. So, favorite book cover well, I have a few. So, I love the House Moving Castle cover. It's so green and happy. It just makes me happy. It's my happy place. One of my favorite books I own is this Hobbit copy. Look at this. It's fuzzy and green. It has beautiful illustrations, and I adore this book so much. It's gorgeous. My other favorite book I own, it's a pink Alice in Wonderland book. There's like nothing more me on this earth than a pink Alice in Wonderland book. It's so beautiful. I love it. This is definitely one of my favorite covers that's ever existed on this earth. And I also love the Lunar Chronicles book, all of them. I think Winter is my favorite cover, but they all look so beautiful together. I love these. So yeah, that wasn't just one, I cheated. But there's so many good book covers. I don't know. I know I'm missing a lot, but those are some of my favorites like that I own. Jane's other question is, what is your favorite retelling book or series? I love the Lunar Chronicles. Lunar Chronicles. They're so good. They're very different for retellings. They're like sci-fi, fairy tale retellings and super clever, and I love the series. My other favorite retelling of all time is Entwined by Heather Dixon. This is a 12 Dancing Princess retelling, and it's just amazing. The characters are great. The villain is super creepy, but in an awesome way. Just the whole story and concept. Like, I love this book so much. 1000% recommend to everybody. It's really good. And my newest retelling obsession is the Beaumont and Beasley series. By Kyle Robert Schultz. These are hilarious books. It's about a detective that discovers his fairy tales are real and goes on all these crazy adventures, and everybody needs to read these books.